It is Thursday the 17th of April 2025 and there is a lot of work taking place around Launchpad today and some big changes in the area which I'm really excited to show. Last Monday we saw the maintenance mode testing for the first time where basically the gondola wouldn't test properly but it'd just move up and down the tower to about halfway very slowly. That's the maintenance mode. Since then the ride has been testing properly with its proper cycle. We've seen it a few times today as well, and I imagine that's the first and second and third or whatever of many more for the rest of today, because there's a lot of work going on around there. The sandbags being put on the seats and taken off the seats and whatnot. The restraints keep getting put up and down, so I imagine a lot more testing is to be done on Launchpad today. But whilst we wait for that and hope that that happens while we're here, let's go and take a look around the area. And a big change that was in progress last week but it's now been complete, apart from the fact they've not taken the scaffolding down. But so big change, I'll take you around there. So last Monday the last remaining bit of Ice Blast signage, and just any sign of Ice Blast at all, was on here with a big Union Jack, and it said Ice Blast, the Ice Blast logo, pretty much the same as what's on the top there, which can't really see because the sun's that bright. It's beautiful. However, this scaffolding started to get put up last week when we were here, and I said that it would probably be to get rid of the Ice Blast sign and change it to a brand new Launchpad sign, and that is exactly what has happened, and it looks fantastic in my opinion. Just looking forward to it being completely revealed now. I imagine they'll take this scaffolding down whenever they're done. There were some people up it this morning, so maybe there's a few bits that they still need to do up there. But they've changed the sign to the Launchpad logo. So happy with that, instead of just changing it to like a Union Jack with Launchpad. Like that's the logo. That just looks great. Actually looks like they're going to put some themed boards up on the entrance to the queue as well. One's just been put up there, whereas that bit's blank, and I imagine like that's what that is there. This thing sort of themed, and maybe they'll put some around this brick wall as well, I don't really know. The Launchpad branding has also reached this side, which is good, because this was a Hot Ice advertisement recently, up until recently, so I'm glad they've changed it. But literally all sides to Launchpad. This side's looking a bit less clear, I think, than the other side, but maybe it's just because the scaffolding's up, I don't really know. So literally all sides now are with the Launchpad logo, and just looking forward to seeing the scaffolding get taken down now around the operations box and the entrance. You can just see here where there's another one of them themed like boards on the wall. Looks really nice. A little touch, but looks good. And this one here I imagine will go round to where I showed just a minute ago. Does look fantastic though. I'm so happy with how this has turned out. As I said, this side that's on show on the left at the minute, do think that's a bit darker than the other sides, but maybe I'm just nitpicking. But I really like that. I can't even remember what this side facing us now looks like originally with Ice Blast, but it's got the Launchpad logo there and some astronaut. Another update as well, I'll zoom in so I don't get any of the actual workers on here. They've painted these fences now, said the other week that they might do that soon. And they've been painted like a dark grey colour. They were lighter grey previously. Saw them doing that last week, but obviously we're filming until later time when more stuff has changed and when it's all complete, but looks nice. There's so much work going on around the gondola itself, a lot of engineers around doing something with the restraints, putting sandbags in, and someone's just climbed inside the tower itself. And as I said, testing has been taking place, which I hope I can capture in this update before it finishes, before the end of the day. So if nothing happens right now, I'll keep the update rolling till the end of the day, as I did last week. See if I can capture anything. Now this might be the soundtrack, because this speaker here is playing a different tune to the rest of the Pleasure Beach Radio. I was thinking last time we were walking around there, about 10 minutes ago, like, that sounds different. But then it's obviously different to what's been on the adverts and stuff. So...
I like it.
It's alright, isn't it?
I like it.
I imagine it has its own little tune at some point as well. I can confirm, I think this is the soundtrack, because I've just heard like a bit of that space person talking in the background, so there we go. Can't hear too much of it obviously from here, but tell you what, it's nice to know it's going to have a soundtrack, and it's a bit more than just that little bit that they've been playing in the media, bits that they've been making about it.
We need more than one speaker than just that one.
I'm sure there will be, yeah, when it eventually opens, yeah. The problem is though...
Get the musical bush at Pleasure Beach.
Yeah, problem is it an audio clash with the rest of the radio that plays around there, but I like this. It's good to know it has a soundtrack, as I said. There we go, it's just restarted its loop. It just stopped for a second. I imagine it's reached the end, so... This is definitely the Launchpad soundtrack. It's different to, as I said, what they've been using so far. But I imagine it does feature that tune at some points. So we'll have to wait and see. But it's chill. Might be able to hear the space guy in the background, whatever you call it, the astronaut voice. These lights look new as well. There we go. Hopefully it has its own little launch sequence as well, audio. That'd be nice. Earlier on as well, I saw them tweaking about with one of the on-ride photo cameras. I mean, they've just been stood there and left untouched throughout this whole construction period, haven't they? So there we go. I don't really want to make this update a full 15 minutes of filming a speaker, but just try and get as much of the soundtrack as I can, really. They've kept it quiet. Oh, testing. Hey, there we go. Tell you what, that looks a lot more powerful than Ice Blast did. This morning it seemed a bit slow, but it's early morning, it's the first time they've sent it, you know what I mean? So, it definitely shoots up there a lot quicker than it did. Another thing as well, it doesn't look like the drop sequence is coming back. I believe like PlayStation used to have a drop sequence. There were rumours that they were going to bring it back to Launchpad at some point. That isn't the case. Wouldn't it be cool if they did what Gold Rush does at Drayton Manor and sort of switches at a certain point in the day? So Gold Rush has a cycle 1 and at 2 PM in the afternoon they change to a cycle 2 and make the coaster run a little bit differently. So it'd be cool if to start the day we had the shot sequence and then maybe at 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon it goes up there and just drops like a drop tower, because would love a drop tower at Pleasure Beach. Obviously they've kept Launchpad instead, but would be nice if they had that drop sequence. Having both of them in one cycle just wouldn't be good for the queue time, but I just thought I'd get that in there. The cycle itself has stayed the same, just with the launch sequence, but it's just a lot more powerful with those new pressure cylinders. Can't remember the exact PSI amount now, but it's a lot more powerful than what it used to be with this massive white cylinder. But now let's go back and listen to the soundtrack and wait for the rest of the testing. I'll tell you what though, if this is the soundtrack and it is just a completely different tune to what they used in the promotional stuff when Launchpad first got revealed as its name change and re-theme, hopefully that starts being used now in the promotional stuff. I mean, can't be long off and they're revealing the opening date now, so it'd be nice to have this music in the background of that opening date announcement. But It's decent, it's chill, it's spacious, it's a bit Galactica style obviously, similar theme. Galactica's a space theme. Got a bit of drums in the background now. It's growing on me, I like it. Once I spend about half an hour in this queue line when it opens, I'm sure I'll know it very well. I wonder who's done it because they've been quite quiet about the soundtrack. I imagine Pleasure Beach have gone with The Notable Stranger, Glenn Robertson, for like all of the projects recently, and Hot Ice as well, so I imagine it's him that's done this, as always, which, very good. There we go. A new Notable Stranger soundtrack on Launchpad. Seems that every time we do one of these Launchpad updates now, there's a surprise in store as well as the big update we're meant to film for. Like this time, can't believe it, a new soundtrack's playing. As Danielle said, hopefully they do add a few extra speakers around the area itself. Wouldn't it audio clash with the rest of the radio if there was a put them here, for example, but I'm sure they could put some there and everywhere else, around the exit as well. But we'll have to wait and see. There's that one up there now, which is playing the soundtrack. They could, yeah. Near the entrance as well. A few around there as well, and as I said, some themed audio. Looks like the workers have just gone for the dinner, so not exactly interrupting anyone at the minute by getting some shots of the new gondola, which looks fantastic. Hopefully they do actually end up filling this in with the logo or something at some point, which I'm sure they will. Then maybe they'll bring something back here, because there used to be something to do with Ice Blast on this wall here near where the fast track queue was, and hopefully a speaker as well in that corner. That'd do. That'd be good, wouldn't it? We'll leave it there for now, then we'll come back later on in the day and try and get some more testing footage and stuff, but that's all the area footage. There's a new soundtrack which I put some snippets of by just taking some clips of it from that speaker in this video, and I imagine when the ride opens it'll get released properly and it'll obviously start being used on promotional videos, so got that to look forward to. But for now, I'll see you later on in the day when hopefully the ride can be testing again, and then we'll wrap this update up for another week. We're back in the area about 3 o'clock. That board's been put up. They're testing the ride again. Here we go. And they've turned that soundtrack up. It's a lot louder now. You can hear it from over here now. There we go, another test run. Just got a picture of it and it seems to be more of a regular thing now. There we go. I feel like it's quieter than it used to be, the ride itself, which I suppose is a good thing for the residents of Blackpool, but kind of, it's not changed drastically, but just feels a little bit quieter in terms of the noise this ride makes now, but we'll have to wait and see. I imagine the scaffolding will come down at some point as well very soon. Obviously they'll have to wait until this scaffolding's down to put this queue line back in, this bit of cut up in here. And I imagine it being the same colour as all these fences around there. And then, well, what are they going to do with these? I mean, these have not been used since they took them off the gondola to start stripping it down to put the scaffolding up back in August last year. So, don't know what they're going to do with them. But this is like an open gate here I've never noticed before, with hose pipes on the floor. But yeah, there we go. They'll wait till this scaffolding's down, put the queue line back up. The Launchpad's testing now. The restraints have just gone back down, so it'd be nice to get a shot of it from this side. Like, just unlocking. I tell you what, it's nice to hear all these noises again. Like, just the noise of the restraints locking and unlocking. Like, I've not heard that for over a year. Here we go again. I'm sure it used to make a noise before it did this pre-lift here. Now it doesn't. Now it's
like
just this one. Oh, it is nice to hear this again though. Yeah. That's really powerful.
That is very good.
There we go. Oh, I'm so glad they've kept it. There was a point where I wasn't bothered and kind of accepted that it might have been removed. Maybe it was on the cards. But I'm so glad they've kept it. This skyline just wouldn't be the same without that S&S shop tower, no matter what colour it is. So, yeah. Now we're nearing its reopening, I'm so glad they've kept it after all this. And rethemed it, renamed it, give it a new soundtrack we've heard today, which is blasting out that speaker now. So when there's multiple speakers around this area, it's going to be brilliant. But yeah, just having this S&F shot tower back open at Pleasure Beach Resort is amazing. Hopefully there's even more testing to be captured. I'll actually shut up and film it without me talking at some point as well. We're testing it a lot more regularly now, but the soundtrack's gone off, just noticed. Stood filming it over here with Joey and everyone else, and yeah, I feel like can't hear it from here. But here we go, it's nice to see him testing it very regularly now. And as I said, looks great. My first time seeing it test properly today. And it's just nice to hear those sounds again and see it shoot up at such speeds. Alright then, I think I'll leave the update there. If I get any more shots I'll put it in. I'll probably upload a separate video with all of the actual footage that I've taken anyway, away from the update, but got a load of angles, seen a lot of testing, seen the new signage. I imagine that scaffolding coming down before the weekend maybe, or just after, and it's very, very exciting. Just filmed a video with Pleasure Beach Shopping, absolute legends. Which I believe is coming out on Monday, on a national something day, so I'll not give anything away, but you know, stay tuned and all that on Pleasure Beach Shopping. Go and follow them if you haven't already on Instagram and TikTok. Thanks for having us in one of your videos, that's pretty sick. But there we go, there's about an hour to go now until park close. Seeing everything we're going to see really. They're still testing it every now and again, although they haven't for a little while now, but there's still workers around the site. And as I said, it's just nice to see it. It's looking powerful, it's looking good, it's nice to hear it again as well as see it. And the tower itself just looks amazing in this blue sky. I'm loving the colour scheme. When the sun's beaming off it, it complements it so well. And yeah, I love that new sign as well. Just looking forward to seeing that scaffold come down. But nice to hear the soundtrack as well. I'm sure we'll hear it properly even more over the next coming weeks, and obviously when the ride opens it'll get released and whatever else. I believe it has been done by a notable stranger based off an Instagram story reply, so I'm glad they've gone with Glenn again, and it sounds really good from what I've heard of it. And as I said, it was blasting out that speaker earlier this afternoon, so definitely a nice surprise hearing that. But I don't really know what else to say. We've seen it testing, we've seen the new signs, we've seen some painting that has been done around the area. We are so close to Launchpad opening up for the first time since its rebrand and retheme from Ice Blast. But until next time, until that scaffolding comes down from the new sign, thank you very much for watching. Check out the screen to see more, and I'll see you in the next Launchpad update, probably next week something.
Bye.
See you in a bit.
Later.